In 1932, a man called Leopold von Hirsch arrived in London as the new German ambassador, and with him came his faithful companion, his Alsatian, Giro.
Of course, the Nazi Party were not yet in complete control of Germany at that time. Hitler's rise to power began in 1933 when he was appointed German Chancellor by President Hindenburg. But as Hitler swiftly seized full control of the country, von Hirsch would by default become a Nazi.
Though it's said he was a bit of a thorn in Hitler's side, denouncing the militarisation of the Rhineland, which was in breach of the Treaty of Versailles, signed at the end of the First World War. During his time in London, Leopold von Hirsch lived here at 9 Carlton House Terrace, which was then the German embassy. And with von Hirsch lived his beloved dog Giro. Until, in 1934, tragedy struck. Giro chewed through an electrical cable in the back garden of the embassy and died from electrocution. Distraught, von Hirsch dug a grave in the embassy's garden and buried him. The little grave and memorial were largely forgotten until in the 1960s, during construction work, they were uncovered and they were relocated here to the base of this tree, where you can still see them today through these wrought iron gates. Now, the casing that protects the memorial is getting a bit grubby these days, so it's actually quite hard to see the inscription, but it reads Giro, ein treuer begleiter, which in English means Giro, a faithful companion. Now, even with a dog, you would have thought it felt a bit distasteful to leave a Nazi's memorial in the centre of London, given that they bombed the hell out of the place during the war. But von Hirsch died in April 1936, which was 3 years before the outbreak of the Second World War. And he was largely credited with improving relations between Britain and Germany at that time, a time when Adolf Hitler was growing increasingly more aggressive. Von Hirsch was not afraid to speak out against him. So loved was von Hirsch by British politicians, he was accorded military honours as he passed through London, his coffin draped in a Nazi swastika flag. A salute of 19 guns, they were actually full-size cannons, was fired in Hyde Park for his funeral, and senior British politicians walked in the funeral cortege as it made its way to Victoria Station. And all of that goes some way to explaining perhaps why this little memorial, technically to a Nazi's dog, has been allowed to remain in the centre of London.